border, it extends from second to sixth ribs. Like this is just for description, okay? And horizontally, it extends from the lateral sternal border to the mid-axillary line at the level of fourth costal cartilage. Just a brief introduction about the breast, an organ that lies in the superficial fascia, its vertical extent, its horizontal extent. Okay, now next slide. This is very important, and it took me time to find. It's a very, very, very important slide. It's a breast side view, but showing the interior. Okay, so that we can understand its relations, what is deep to it. The important thing is that this is the skin that covers the breast. Then there is a conical projection, which is present almost in the center of the breast, called as the nipple. And then this is once again skin. Under the skin, all this is the breast that lies in the superficial fascia. You can see the fat globules. This is all superficial fascia. Now, these two lines, this is the D fascia. This D fascia is covering the muscle, which is pectoralis major. So, as such, it lies right in front of the pectoralis major muscle. And the fascia that covers the pectoralis major is the D fascia. Actually, the D fascia splits to enclose this muscle. So, those who are good at anatomy, they understand that the D fascia in different places splits to cover the muscles. Now, so this is the breast. Now, what can be seen is that these black, thick lines, these are the extensions. These are the fibrous septa coming from under surface of the skin and going down vertically to be attached to this line. Actually, the superficial fascia, which is otherwise all fatty, but it has two parts, a fatty part and a fibrous part. The fibrous part is present in the form of two layers, a superficial layer and a deep layer. Superficial layer is just underneath the dermis of the skin, and the deep layer is just above the pectoralis fascia, which is the D fascia covering the pectoralis major muscle. So these bands of fibrous tissue connect the superficial layer of the fascia to the deep layer. Now, this is how they give a shape to the breast. These fibrous septa, they are called as suspensory ligaments of Cooper. They also divide the breast into radial lobes. I will show you in another diagram. So why I'm showing you this, there are some important structures. Number one, this is all superficial fascia, the fatty part. This is all superficial fascia, but the fibrous part, where there are two condensation. One is the superficial one is the deep one. Superficial lies deep to the skin, under the dermis. Deep lies above or over the pectoral fascia. And these are connected by means of these vertically arranged bands which divide the breast into radial lobes. These are called as suspensory ligaments of Cooper. Now, if you have good eyes and if you can see, under this deep layer of superficial fascia, there is a free space. There is a free space and there is no septa. It's just the loose areolar tissue. So this mass of the breast, if we just move it like this, so the breast is freely movable over the pectoralis fascia because of the presence of this space. Because this space is deep to the breast, it is called as retromemory space. So see, retromemory space is a free space under the breast but over the pectoral fascia, and it allows for the free movement of the breast. What structures are deep to the breast? As you can see now, I can simply read retromemory space, it's here. Deep pectoral fascia, it's here. Pectoralis major, and if we see from in front that the two other muscles partly also lie deep to the breast. One is the serratus anterior and partly external oblique muscle. The retromemory space, this space is also called as lake of Marseille, makes the breast freely movable over the pectoralis major muscle. And then there are very important suspensory ligaments of Cooper. They pass deep from under surface of the skin to the deep layer of the superficial fascia covering pectoralis major muscle. Now, please remember, in cases of the carcinoma of the breast, there are so many types of carcinoma of the breast. If these suspensory ligaments, which are nothing but the fibrous septa, are involved by the cancerous cells, they can cause retraction of the skin. Skin can be retracted, pulled down. So this pulling down, which appears on the surface, which can be seen on the surface as puckering, is because of this retraction of these ligaments of Cooper. Now, next, look at this. Macroscopic structure, if we see from the side, it's very clear. We see some landmarks. We know that almost in the center of the breast, there is a conical projection called as nipple. It is surrounded by a pigmented area of the skin called as areola. So there are some points related to nipple and the areola, and then this is the skin. Under the skin, as you can see, this is all adipose tissue, which is the superficial fascia. This is actually the breast. So because if you remember